Assalamu alaikum. You all may be seated. You might need to move this over something. Might need to move the whole thing over. Yes, sir. Line it all the way up to right here. That's good. Yes, sir. We can move that over this way. This way everybody gets an opportunity to see. Assalamu alaikum again. How is everyone? Oh, I'm wonderful. I thank you all for those of you that did come out. I hope some more show up today. I think I'll speak on today, if I can remember it. What is it? Trust. That's right. Quite a few things have been happening this week, this past. I don't know if you all been keeping up with the news. It's getting to be more and more a great demand for us. And I thought I'd speak on trust today so that we get a full understanding as to what one must do to actually be trustworthy. You know, we were taught when the messenger came along or was with us that we trust only Allah and His messenger. However, today, if I'm making you just like me, that has to be changed. We trust the righteous. You know, so in order for you to be like me, I have to teach you to do what I do and make you trustworthy, especially to yourself. You know, I watch quite a few things that Satan puts out or the devil puts out through his media. And it's what he does is real simple, but it's very effective. He's made us to ignore everything that seems to be small to us, as though that he's made us so important that we are not, it's beneath us to do the small things. Just let the small things go and they'll take care of themselves. And that's where he gets us, with the small things. While you letting it go, he's not. You know, if you think this is not so, you do something and may, you know, have a traffic ticket running the light. You know, in life, that's a small thing. But you go to court again, see if it isn't on there. You read to you, oh, you got stopped in so-and-so date, so-and-so time. You may have forgotten it, but he didn't. And he seems to keep us tied up in that sense. You know, most of the time, I don't know if you all been trying this or not, you know, when you speak to people, that is not of our thinking. Most of the time, they will agree with you, especially if you know what you're talking about. They will agree with you, but they won't make any moves to be like you. They will say, yes, that sounds good. I can't argue with it. That sounds right. But they will not, that's as far as they're going to go. Usually that's because of their thinking. They refuse to change or allow themselves to be changed in their thinking to accept what's already been proven to be true. So we find ourselves, as is written or prophesied, that this road is straight and it's narrow and it's not heavily traveled. I hope we have a good time today. Do you all learn anything from me actually speaking with you, or are you just enchanted? I wouldn't want to appear to be just pleased with just speaking with you. You know, we must change our thinking. If you don't do that, you keep your thinking and you watch me and you see that I'm changing, I'm bringing about my thoughts, and it looks so wonderful the way I'm doing it. However, your everyday life, in your mind, it appears as though you can't really change your thinking because it's going to bring about problems. Believe me, you're giving the problems the power. Just change it. Change your thinking, you won't have the problem. You know, it's a wonderful thing to be trusted. I know. Because I have been trusted, and it appears as though some people are still trusting in me. And it rewards me for my trust of being diligent in being myself continuously. It's a reward when others can depend on it, regardless of who they are. If it's my wife, my children, whoever I'm involved with, I know I was working not for the devil, but I was working and he had the work and I was working his work. And he wanted to borrow some money from me. So I loaned him the money. He just wanted to get a lunch. He had the money, but he forgot to leave it home. So I gave him $20. He only wanted 10, but I didn't have but a $20 bill. So I gave him the 20, and I said, well, I got to go, and I see you when I come back. He said, oh, no, sir. No, sir. I'm going to get you to change now. I'll be right back. He said, I'd rather you owe me than me owe you. Because he didn't want to dampen his relationship with me, because he could trust in me. I know when I first went to the Nation of Islam, and I had the trucks, I had my own trucks and trailers. Although I had them leased out to the Caucasian, and they used to look for me. You know, I never had to, really look for a load. They'd be calling me to tell me what they had before I even left my point of origin going to where I was going to deliver. The ones on that end already had something for me coming back, so they almost be bidding on who and who's going to get me. That was fine. However, you know, when you're working for someone and you know that they're happy with your performance because they're benefiting from it, not because it's right or it's righteous. It's making them have more money. That kind of robs you of what you're really doing. That's not a real reward. You know, they trusted me, that I would take care of their freight. You know, whatever they had, do the paperwork right, get it in on time, cross all the dots, cross all the I's, dot all the T's, or however it's done backwards, whatever. They had I had already performed it. I did it because that's what was supposed to be done. I told them that's what I would do, and I did it. Repeatedly, consistently, over and over and over, that they never even start to question. They stopped questioning me. They didn't ask, could I or would I? They would ask, would I in competition, but they had no fear if I said yes, that from that point everything was going to be fine. This is the way all of us has to be. Now, the only thing I often think sometimes, maybe it's just me, because I am negative free. And I don't really personally experience negative from me personally. So maybe I don't know, maybe to me it's just easy, and I don't know what it is with you or you all that do have this negative in you, what type of battle it really is, until I try to make myself known to you, and then the constant rebelling or repelling of me from you. I'm not saying the ones that are here, but you represent the black people or the original people. But look how many is here. You see? So I would have to read it in that sense. However, for me to do it personally, I can't really relate to that. That's good for you. This way I'll never slip back and fall into a slump and say, well, this is where life put me, so I may as well accept it. I'll accept the bad with the good. That's the way the world goes. They tell you, you have to accept the bad with the good. I don't have to accept the bad with the good. And since I'm making you like me, soon you will be able to say and do the same things. And those of you all that have children, that is about to leave your home because of their age, or they think that they are ready, or those that have already left, however, they show you an inordinate amount of concern and compassion and love for you the way they think they should love you. And at the same time, they reject vehemently what you're in. You know, we're going to have to learn how to speak to them as though God is speaking to them the way I speak to them. Would you like to know that? Yes, sir. You know, most of us, if we were really trustworthy, when we did speak to our children, they would take what we say without argument, without debate. But most of us are not trustworthy. And the children know from firsthand, because they came from you, that grew up in your presence and under your control. So they got an in-depth knowledge as just how much you believe in what you say and what you do, and what methods you use to sharpen yourself. Are y'all following me? Yes, sir. I'm saying all this because it really takes a person and people that is trustworthy to bring in the righteous kingdom. If you all know that I'm trustworthy, I'm only one. I'm only one. I cannot bring in the righteous kingdom just being as one unless I bring it in. I'm the only one that's going to be there. If I bring it in and I bring you in with it, then I have many things that I can't trust. You know, it's already written. The messenger told us in the message, and the prophet has predicted and prophesied that there won't be any peace until the peacemaker is gone. A peace breaker is gone. As long as the peace breaker is amongst us, we can't really have peace. He'll see to it that you don't experience that. Is that right? Yes, right. So if I bring in a righteous kingdom and you all aren't really trustworthy, then I've made a problem for myself. And I don't intend to live in an illusion, thinking that I've done something so great. However, the people that are with me, that is to magnify me, are not like me. I wouldn't have done anything that hasn't already been done. Is that right? Yes, sir. Now let's get to what will make us absolutely trustworthy. Most of us think, well, you become insulted if you tell a person something and they doubt you and they show it. Wow. You say, well, you don't trust me? Why you don't trust me? Especially if the person, you all have some type of relationship. If it's important, if it's not important, then the person says, well, yeah, okay, yeah, because he knows if you don't do it, or if you do it, it really don't make that much difference. But if it's important, then they show their distrust. And it offends you because you think they really should trust you. Because you said so. What will stop that? If I tell a person, well, yes, I'm going to do so and so and so, or I will do so and so. If they say, well, I believe he's going to do it because he's been doing it before, that's not a reason for you to be trustworthy or have trust in me or that person that does that. The only way that you can trust someone without any question, the person themselves has to have a value in the formula of life or creation that is higher than any value that is to be valued. Meaning that you must be in love with the formulas of creation, which is math. You're so in love with what it does and what it produces for you, nothing can deter you from that. And when you use it and you're constantly using it, this is what makes you trustworthy. Because whatever you ask of the person or whatever that person tells you, they're telling you this because they already see that they're going to do it, and the universe is backing them up. That's going to make you successful in doing it. They have a value on something else other than a thing. If you valued me because whatever I say, I do it, but you don't know why I'm doing it. If I say, well, yes, I will be at your house at 8 o'clock in the morning, and if I don't show up, it's not that I feel bad because I didn't show up and you're going to see me. I didn't show up. It's because what you used to say, I broke the math. It can't serve me. Not that I didn't serve you. The math can't serve me. I put myself in a position where I cannot be rewarded. That's unsettling. It means that the universe is not with me. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, if I say I'm going to be at your place at 8 o'clock, I must have already calculated that. Nothing is going to hinder me from being there, so I'm comfortable with it. So I say I'll be there at 8. If I couldn't be at 8 and you say, well, it's important that you make it at 8, I say, well, I'll get back with you. I got to check the math. And when I check it and the math says, well, I rearrange and say, yes, you can be there. I call back, I'll be there. You can rest assured I'll be there. Might be 7:59, it might be 8:01. But I'll be there. Not because I told you. It is that, however, because if I break it and don't do it because of negligence or lack of care, then I'm not a man. I could never be God. I'd never be God. I could never be God. I don't mean the God, just a God. I can't be God. Unless you say it's a God of wickedness, God of lies. I could be that. You understand? Yes, sir. So this is why we were cautioned to trust only Allah and his messenger at that time. Because the messenger, Allah had made the messenger like him. His will had become the will of Allah. So he learned through the hints and clues of creation that Allah imparted to him to develop him, to make him trustworthy. So that's why the statement was made, trust only Allah and the messenger, no one else. And the reason why we could say the messenger, because what we put him in, we didn't put him in a situation with people. We put him in a situation with the planets, with nature. We put him in that kind of situation where he had to deal with the wise of the planet. If he made a mistake, he had to pay for it. If he made things right, he was rewarded. So whether the people came or not, that's why Allah used to tell him, don't worry, Elijah, if nobody comes, just you and I'll go. Because he wasn't developing himself because of the people or for the people. He was showing the positiveness and the power of being trustworthy, of being in the favor of Allah. You all understand what I'm saying? Now, I actually am the author of building a righteous kingdom. I really am. The kingdom will never be realized unless I produce more people like me. And if you're not like me, it's impossible to build the kingdom. That's just math. If you cannot be trusted, we can't use you, or you cannot be utilized as part of the builders or building. You know, it would be much like the saying in the Bible, they built this house on Mari clay, you know, or this statue or whatever was built had Mari clay in it. The legs were Mari clay. I forgot how it goes. It was a song, I think it was. The feet was Mari clay. Sitting in Mari clay. Yes, sir. Well, what we need to build is something that is absolutely sturdy from creation. Are you all listening? Yes, sir. You sure you're not thinking about something you're going off? You know, that's easy to do. You know, especially if you already know what I'm saying. You know, I went to, I think it was Wednesday night, I went to church. Yeah, I went to church. I've been riding by, been seeing this place. And I stopped a couple of times, never could find nobody there. It's a strange church. So one day I was riding by and I saw somebody. I said, oh, turned around, went back. They were standing in the door. I asked them when was the services and so forth, whatnot. They told me, and they had Bible studies. Bible study? Oh. They talked about their family and everything. I said, well, I'm going to be there. They said, every Wednesday night. I went. You know, we got a job. I mean, for real, we have a job. Because everything that I saw there were children playing with imaginary toys. And the toy that they were playing with is Jesus. He's imaginary. And they work themselves up in a frenzy, and I don't know where they get this interpretation of the Bible from. That's imaginary also. However, they still represent our people. Now, if you're not trustworthy, they can't depend upon you. They're going to catch you in a lie. They're not even looking for it. They're so used to lying, they can smell one before you say it. Yes. When you deal with a professional liar, and most Christians don't call themselves professional liars, they wouldn't do that. Because it's natural to lie. So it's not professional liars. It's just everybody else lies. That's just a going thing. So when you open your mouth and you're the righteous and you come up with something that's other than truth, they got you right away. They might not say nothing. They might laugh and feel good and tell you a bunch of things to make you feel like, yes, I'm one of you and you're one of us. In fact, that can't be. If you're going to be the peacemaker and the children of God and of the Most High, you've got to be trustworthy. Now, can you actually trust yourself to stop your habits? If you tell yourself, tomorrow, I will not smoke another cigarette. I'm not saying you're doing it. Just saying. Now, you didn't tell nobody else. You're telling yourself. Tomorrow, I'm not smoking no more. And lo and behold, one thing you can trust on, tomorrow shows up. The cigarettes are gone. You smoked the last one. The sun is steady rising. And the old habit is speaking louder and louder. Now, since you only told yourself that, you think no one else knows. However, everybody that is somebody knows. When you made the statement, I'm not smoking no more, tomorrow, no more cigarettes, the whole universe knows it. Then when you go and say, well, I'll postpone it until next week. Now, I show up, you love me, because you know I'm going to be successful because I'm being successful just to get you listening. So you know it's not going to stop there. I'm going to be successful. However, you think because I'm so powerful in being right and exact, that gives you a little bit more time to ease off what you're doing if you do ease off. You won't be with me. After a while, I'll be all the way out of sight. I'm still speaking about trust because we're building a nation, and the nation has to be total opposite of the one that exists. This government, which governs the people, no one trusts it. I listen to the language that they talk about each other during the presidential campaign and before the election, and they talk about each other double talking. You know, why would you vote for a man that double talks? But they say it in such a way, well, that's expected. Have you all been here?
Yes, sir.
Well, we have quite a bit of things that has to be done, and I have the spot, like I was saying last week, for those of you all that want to go to heaven. Only the trustworthy can go. You know, the minister from there called me this morning from heaven, and he said he got a few more calls from around the country that some other people want to come to heaven. And I explained to him, in order for them to go or come there, that they must do what is already prophesied of. They got to give up everything. Everything. If you got a brand new Cadillac, and if we accept you to go to heaven and you take it with you, you got to give it up. Not that you have to go there and say, well, look, here's the car. Do it as you will. You have to give up the attachment to it. If the situation arises and it's an emergency and we actually need it, and you're in a position where we cannot spare you to go and do it and use it, you got to give it up and say, well, we want so-and-so to take the car and do so-and-so. You can't be stumbling and stammering. Well, you got to give it up. And you can't say it wasn't already written. You got to give up everything and curse your mother and father. It's written. This is in the Bible. If you're going to come and be with me, the first thing it reads in the Bible, that you first got to curse your mother and father, the ones that refuse to be with me, and give up everything you got. Then pick up your cross, meaning you can't get rid of your habits right away. That's a cross. That's a burden. And in being with me, you're purified. And after a while, you'll find that you don't have no more cross. It's gone. But it all comes from the thinking. If you can't think it, you can't do it. And if what you are unable to think of, you are unable to be submissive to the ones that can think of it, you still you won't benefit from it. Are you listening? Yes, sir. Well, I'm going to ask again, who's preparing himself to go to heaven? You don't really have to raise your hand. I hope all of you all here are doing that. And these are the keys that you must employ to actually go. If I send you to heaven and you're not ready because the position demands that you be there, then I'm with you. And when the job or task is completed or near done, I let you come back to your senses, your own senses, to give you an opportunity to actually be in heaven because you want to be there. Much like we did the minister. Since he wouldn't speak what he should have spoken, we allowed Farrakhan to speak it. And when the duty was finished, we allowed Lewis to come alive. However, he had a whole library of him speaking, Farrakhan speaking through him, so the only thing he had to do is go back and turn the pages and read it. If he was in agreement with it, he would have been better than Farrakhan. He would have. Because it would have been him, not something through him. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Now, do we have any new people here today? Okay. That's good. No sisters. That's good. Okay. We usually allow questions to be asked of me. I don't know how you all heard of me. Maybe was it through the information center? How did y'all hear of me? Through friends? Well, I don't know what they told you concerning me. However, you are in the presence of the Supreme Being. And I also recognize you all as being God also. You know, it would be extremely foolish for the Supreme Being to go and expect to do something or to work with something to produce what he wants to be produced, and he go get the worst of what he's going to get. Would make sense? You know, if I want some crazy glue to hold something together, but I go get chewing gum, it wouldn't make sense. So since I deal with the essence of things, the best of creation is you. It really is. However, we've been dealing with a man that is opposite from us, absolute 180 degrees opposite from us. And because they're opposite from us, we submitted. And I hope you submit to this. We submitted to them. So much so, we find ourselves very difficult to break his thinking. Because he's so embedded in us, everything you do He's the author of it. Everything you think, he's the author of it. Until I came about. Then you have to wrestle in yourself to determine which way you're going to go. I've seen some people, when they confront me, and because they can't make me change, they start trembling and shaking. You know, it be Satan and Allah battling in them. And if they stay in front of me long enough, you know who wins. I always win. However, if they feel like I can't win, they'll turn and leave. They just study shaking. They can't stand still because of the battle that's taking place in you. But if you stay and allow yourself to be purged, it's an experience you will never forget, because you will experience another notch of freedom. The devil don't have no hold on us. And if we're going to build the righteous kingdom, you all listening? Yes, sir. I hope it don't sound like I'm rattling or rambling. I want to speak it as plain as possible. So you see, it isn't something great we have to do, although what we do is great. We have got to change our thinking and employ it on ourselves to become trustworthy. If you tell a person that you're going to do something, do it. If you cannot do it based on some outside force that you have no control over, let the person know. And if they ask you to give an explanation, tell them. And the explanation has to be where you didn't give into it. It demanded that you couldn't do it. Most of you say, well, I couldn't come because the car didn't start. You say, well, did you ask anybody to help you? Was the battery dead? Or what was wrong? I don't know. I just turned it over and didn't start. That's an excuse. You know, come home and your dinner isn't ready. And your wife doesn't work. She stayed there all day. You ask her, well, how come you didn't prepare the dinner? Well, I was going to make some barbecue, but I didn't have the sauce. So I was waiting for you to come home to go to the store to get some sauce. But you got 1,000 other things that could have been prepared. That's an excuse. Wouldn't you say that? Yes, sir. Now, we building the nation. We're already building it. It may seem as though, well, it's going real slow. It's growing to the pace that you're growing. I spoke to the minister today. Wake up. Y'all wake up. Is it too warm in here for you? Because to me, this is important. This really is. I don't mean speaking with you. That's important also. Those that are here, already here with me, whatnot, I have enough tapes that I really don't have to say anything else. You could just listen at the tapes, and what I'm saying, everything you hear on the tapes is still true. So if I come before you again and say something else, it's still going to be the truth. It's not going to supersede what you already have heard. However, the idea, until we actually get this nation going, is still an idea. So it lets me know, I would like for the people there in Kansas to come alive. But it appears as though, since Satan knew that is the place, even when the messenger was here with us, he sent the messenger's son there, Nathaniel. And Nathaniel carried on Islam in that particular part in such a way, it's like his father wasn't really the man. He did. They were like worshiping Nathaniel. So they got almost caught in a maze. Halfway Muslims and halfway lost found. So now we go there to actually get it started. It's like we're striking the match, but the match pad is wet. You know, you got to be very careful how you run the match across it, because you pull the whole thing up. So they say, yes, this is the idea. This is what has to happen. I'm with you. I'm for you. I'm with this. We say, all right, well, if you're with this, this is what has to be done. Then all right, it's done. You turn your back and leave. You come back. Is it done? Well, no, sir. We have to do so and so and so and so. Well, didn't you know that? Yes, sir. Well, why wasn't it done? Well, sir, we'll get on it. Well, that's where heaven is to be. So I told the minister this morning, I'm looking at some transportation to actually start bringing people that is working, especially at the head, that's been with me. And you keep hearing this and you keep doing certain things, but we don't have anything here to do because we're thinking of things and sending it there for it to be done, to get that started first. Then we will start having things here. We don't want to fractionalize ourselves so much that we can't get nothing done no place. You see what I'm saying? However, you still have the right to go and see what's done physically. What the efforts of your thinking and your giving and your donating and your sacrifice, what is it actually producing? You got the right to do that. And when you go, you don't see number one diner, you're not going to be too pleased. You mean to tell me I gave $4,000 or $5,000 and that's all it's here? And if I did it, I know somebody else must have gave $4,000 or $5,000. That's got to be $10,000. And then most of y'all think it's a whole lot in the nation. It's not. And most of the ones that we have quite a bit on the books as far as being Muslims that has accepted this, and a lot less that is participating in any proportion. Not a penny is given, let alone a dime. Let alone a dime. Are you listening? Yes, sir. However, if I get the transportation, if I have to take you myself, I want to carry you out so you can see what's in my mind. I'm going to go first, make sure it's ready. I sent mother out there to make sure that I got something to come to. She's out there battling. She's swinging the axe. You know, and that's another thing too. If you're all going to actually use the formula of math in your thinking, and if I'm bringing in something that's totally new, but you have the capacity to obtain it because we brought you here and allowed you to be here 400 years under pressure, under pressure for this express thing to take place, for you to be able to be new. And if I prepare one before you and set it before you as an example, and this one went under the pressure that you went under plus, because it has to be first. And then the pressure is continuous because since all of us didn't come along at the same time, now you bring the pressure on them also and keep it while you're growing. It's much like the mother has the child. However, the father can go out and deal with his brothers and deal in creation, but the mother has to stay there with the child because the child can't leave. She got to stay there and make sure that the child is clean, is nursed, is taken care of. It's got the right things around it. It's protected. The child is holding the mother prisoner. So they say. Now, usually we like to have the mother to be a mother in the 20s. So that by the time she reaches 40, the child is 10 years old, 11 years old, and can go back with the father. Now she's free. But you wait and give her a child, she's 35. She'll be a prisoner forever. You know what I'm saying? Just for that process, that same woman keep having the child over and over and over. The child don't let the mother leave. Now the mother may get some relief because the other children are growing up, but there are certain things only the mother can do for the child. Is that right? Yes, sir. If I prepared mother, my daughter, not somebody else's daughter, mine. This means I had the right because she was mine. I had the right with yours too because you're also mine also. I just don't exercise the authority on you the way I did on mine. From my own loins, not from my own material in space or in this universe or on this planet. Which if you all have a child, you all use my material, but it wasn't me. My child comes from my material, the essence of me. This gives me an extra right to determine what will and what won't without allowing them to dictate to me what they will and what they won't. You follow? All right, now, when she finds out I've made her a mother of my idea, and the material that I placed before her, she's got to get it ready for me. However, the material sees her as though, well, I don't see where she got in the right to do so and so and so. So the pressure from the material is constant. After I backed off, then the material came on. You follow what I'm saying? So the pressure is still there. Now, you would wonder and say, well, if a person is constantly under pressure all the time like this, what possibly could they be made of to maintain their sanity? Especially if you're in a car and you're in the mud, and you know, if you've ever been in Alabama or Georgia on that red clay, that mud, you sit right on top of the ground, can't move. Wheels be spinning, and you get out to see what it is and slip down and fall. That's how slippery it is. It's like you're making no progress. The people that you are the mother of and supposed to see progress from and present them to the Father so he can take them further seems to have a problem with the mother. However, the mother is not free to turn it back and walk away because she ain't produced no children. She either got to make these children or destroy them and say, the children was no good. I had to kill them. Now, if you want this to be right, you have to give me some more children. You think about it. Think about it. Who other than my daughter that you know that answers directly to me for you? Miss White is my wife. She don't answer for you to me. I want her to answer, why you buy me this shirt with black buttons? And then make me wear it. You see? But this is a shirt, I can take it off. But with you and the way you think and the laws that's laid down to make sure that you are worthy for the Father, she can't just throw off. Are you listening? Yes, sir. And also the brothers. You see a female, oh, I would love for my wife to be like her. Not necessarily her, but like her. And when she tells you, listen, my husband is a man. That's what you're to be. And every time she sees you, you're not that. But she's getting you ready for me, the Father. And the man or the son is supposed to be the apple of the mother's eye. For real. Now she knows the Father is about doing, he's about building. However, she would make him extremely happy if she produced a son for him. Not necessarily through her loins, but the way he thinks. This person takes on the brightness of her husband or her father or the one that she calls father. This way you become the son of him. Then I become extremely happy. I can build this righteous kingdom because I have many lights that is enjoying itself to my light. That makes sense? Yes, sir. Well, we have a place that has been ordained for us by the universe. It's called Kansas City. Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. The universe is ordained. Nothing can happen there but goodness if you do it. And rightness if you grow into it. Does that make sense? Yes, sir. Now, in order for you to go and be successful after you arrive, you have got to start to practice the things that's going to make you trustworthy. Now, I know a few of us are trustworthy, but you're trustworthy in a selfish way. You know, some people, you can't go in their house and sit on certain chairs. You can trust that somebody's going to say something to you. You can trust them that they're not going to let you sit in there. You can trust that. But what does that get you? That don't get you nothing. Are you all understanding what I'm saying? Yes, I know those of you that are young, and the minister was telling me those in Kansas now, the young brothers, is really amazing, and how they're thinking and doing things. And these are the brothers that we sent from here out there. Plus, mother's son finally came back, and we ran him through the heat. Put a little grease on him, see if he was going to burn. And he promised me, and I said, well, you can promise, I'll see. And the brother, from all reports, hasn't stumbled not yet. So she's pleased with her son. However, the other officials there are saying that it's amazing the striking resemblance that he has when he comes before the fruit. It's just like me. Well, I taught him when he was in his mother's womb. So if he's now starting to submit to what I've taught him, he's learning what to do to be trustworthy. I do hope you all really take this to heart. I'm not really screaming and jumping up and down, and I'm not talking about the minister this and the minister that. You know, last September it was over with him as far as me really getting on him. And I think we can see the evidence of that now. There's a man that is truly lost. You know, when you go back to your enemy for justice, after you ran from him 40 or 45 years, and then you get tired of running, and then you go back to him. You've got to say that action has got to dictate that the person is lost. They're either lost. It'd be something different if the enemy had changed, and then you went back to it. That's something different. But if the enemy never changed, and you went back, something's wrong with you. Wouldn't you say that? Yes, sir. Well, I don't know if you all have any questions for me today. If you do, we'll open up in a few moments. We'll allow you to ask me questions. I'll get into a little knowledge with you. However, in this language, my pet peeve is actually to get the nation going in a way where we attract the professionals. And in them being professional at what they do in motion, it will be enough of us to change their thinking while they're in motion. You know, we have plenty of professionals, but their thinking as to why they're professional and how to be professional, we can't use it. We can't use it. Because their thinking is wrong. I had a brother, and it's getting to the point I think I might have to stop going places, or I'm going to start going like Michael Jackson, going incognito. I'm sitting up in the van. I'm just sitting in the van on a back street, and the brother pulls up, and he and his wife pulls up to me, and another van stops. He said, I saw that van go by. It really looks good. What year is it? He said, 94. 94? He was riding in a van. He had a 96. He said, I really like that. The mailman walks up. The mailman knows the man that stopped to talk to me. I'm still sitting. He pulls up beside me. Both of us got the window down. The mailman walks up. He starts telling me how great this man is that's talking to me. Because this is on the mailman's route. The mailman is a Hindu. He don't have his turban on. I guess they don't let him wear that. He's got his postal uniform on and everything. Got a little cap. But he got everything else. The beard, He's a Hindu. He starts telling me about how great this man is, how great, much better he is than the minister, how he's already beat this economic system. And he said, you're a Muslim, I'm Hindu, and if you go through that thing about bleeding, and if you're hungry, all that, foolishness. I haven't said nothing. I'm sitting there listening. So I'm saying to myself, how do you know I'm a Muslim? The first time I've been there, just sitting. He's telling me that I'm a Muslim. This brother's a Christian, which he was, or is. And they're telling me, like, I need to be with him. So that we can actually get something done for our people. I want you to listen. This is important. Neither one of them had no idea who they were talking with. No idea at all. What the brother was telling me, those things, if you cut, regardless of what nation you are, if you cut your blood is red. Yeah, that's true. If you get hungry, well then, it don't make no difference what color you are. You got to be fed. That's true. All men come here through the womb of a woman. That's true. But that still don't have nothing to do with how you think. All those things were put in motion by me, and you can't change it. You can't change that. So why tell me about something that I set in motion, that I set it and you can't break it, as though this is the law and I should accept everything else that's allegorical? But they talk to me. And the brother gives me his card. And I said, well, I might have to start staying home or go out when nobody's around. Because really, that's an insult. When they come that way, it puts me in a situation I either got to shoot down everything they say just to hold a conversation, or else I got to sit and listen like I did when I went into church. I said, well, and I carried my wife with me. I'm just guessing this. I didn't even ask that. I just thought about it while she was doing it. Because the preacher, he had his wife there, and she was doing most of the talking. And the thing she was saying was so asinine, my wife started laughing right then. It can be a little embarrassing if the person know you laughing at them, not with them, but you laughing at them. I said, I hope she stopped laughing. It was a little common, but I'm thinking in my mind, these people, since they don't see me, don't have no idea in mind about me as the way I really am. They're doing to the best of what they call their knowledge. And I'm thinking, now they wasn't of no specific denomination. They just Christians. They wasn't Baptist, they wasn't Episcopalian, they wasn't Catholic, none of that. But what they were saying was a bunch of mumbo jumbo. So I thought to myself, whatever made them go and get another church? Why didn't they just go to one that's already established? You follow what I'm saying? If I don't have no transportation, or if I can't see, I love to drive, but I can't see, I lost my sight. Or I see very little. But where I'm going, the bus go every day. I would be a fool to go get the car. And I go and risk having an accident every day. Why don't I just get on the bus and go? Something that's going that way. That's the way I looked at it. Now, if you're going to be trustworthy and you're going to change this, we must admit a change is being made whether you participate in it or not. Whether you are aware of it or not, a change is being made. I always would like to be in control of the change. If it's being made and I'm not in control and I'm not in sync with it, I may be damaged because I don't know. But if I know and position myself in such a way where I'm always in control of what I do and how the universe serves me, I'll never be hurt. Even with my messenger, when we had to take him, I wasn't hurt. Even if my child has to go, I'm not hurt. Because you look to the higher and see what is the reason for it. And when you see it, you say, oh, I see and understand. Is that right? Yes, sir. Well, I won't go on with this. I'm saying this because most of you all that are already here with me, I wanted to let you know about being trustworthy and what you have to do. That is that you have to use math. You have to use what already is established and set and put yourself in accord with that. When people see you doing that and you're not putting yourself in accord with some person, then they know this person can be trusted because they fear God, not man. Their fear is properly placed as it reads in the Quran. I want you to fear me, Allah speaking. I want you to fear me as I should be feared. Not fear me ignorantly. So if you're intelligent, this means that you're using the laws and principles that's already set. And that's what serves you, not me in the flesh. I use the same things that I set for you. I use it too. I'm just the best user of it. And since I use it constantly, and you see success with me and from me, and I stick to that, you can trust me. I know the minister used to say quite often, we in this 3-year economic plan, give me your money, so forth, whatnot, and we'll get this going. You can trust me. I have proven I've been before you now 30 years as the messenger's minister and whatnot. You can trust me. Now we see we couldn't trust him. And even when the statement was made, 30 years he's been with the messenger. However, was he in a position of being trusted for 30 years? No, he wasn't. And even after the messenger passed, he was in the position to be trusted, but he had never developed things that would make him trustworthy. He was in the position, as the messenger told him, he could sit in the seat. Not that he was the owner of it. He wasn't the author of it. Until you sat in the seat until. That denotes a period of time, a boundary, a limit. If he was trustworthy, he wouldn't have to be until. Sat in the seat, or the seat is yours. If I return, or the messenger told him, if you stick to my teachings, if you stick to my teachings, I will reveal the new book through you. Now, what will make it possible for the new book to be revealed through him? He would have to stick to the teachings of the messenger. The book came, but it couldn't be revealed through him because he didn't stick to the teachings, meaning he wasn't trustworthy. If he was already a trustworthy man, it would have never been stated if. It would have been stated this way: by you sticking to the teachings, when I return, I will reveal it through you. Are you listening? Yes, sir. Now, what are you going to do in representing truth as taught to you by me? Are you going to be trustworthy in what you tell people? You're going to be. Well, that's good. For those of you that already is, that's better. But if you're absolutely determined that you're going to be, don't make it a long time. Nothing is stopping you except Satan. And he don't have no power other than what you give him. You know? Is that clear? Yes, sir. Well, should anything else be spoken about concerning being trustworthy? Who is it that you trust? I don't mean the MGTFOI answer. Who is it that you know in your life that you really trust? So I'm the only one in your life that you really trust. That's good, but that shouldn't be. Everyone that's close to me, you should be able to trust, because they're in my life. And if they break the law, then they have to answer to me. They should fear me. And if I place you in a position where you don't have to lie, you don't have to lie. You don't have to lie to get your food. You don't have to lie to get your clothes. You don't have to lie to have a place to stay, a shelter. What would be the reason to lie? I hope you all understand what's being said. I would like for you all to practice this. So when I ask this again, and if I ask you, who is it in your life that you can trust? You come up with some names. This will show to me that there's growth. As long as it is just me, I'm stagnant. I'm not being magnified. You see what I'm saying? Yes, I'm making gods and also wives of gods, goddesses. And if you do that, you don't have to lie. You don't have to. Now, I'm not talking about Satan, the devil. You're not to have no loyalty to him because he's a man of tricks. If you say, yes, I'm not a liar and I will never tell a lie, he will phrase his question or what he's about to do in such a way, and you tell the truth where it will incriminate you to get rid of you. You don't owe him no loyalty. If you don't want to lie to him, just say, like he says, oh, I'm taking the fifth. Or just be blunt. Yeah, ain't none of your business. Well, did you run that red light? No, I didn't run the red light. Well, you have a ticket here. The ticket is there. Officer wrote it. But I didn't run it. Well, I have to go over what the ticket is. Well, go with it then. My day is here. Your ticket is also written. We have to be balanced in everything we do. Everything we do. You all here at headquarters always have an opportunity to see me and talk with me and call me. And certain things happen for you. And in Kansas, they get to see their mother, but they don't get to see the father. They have to call and talk to me in the unseen. So they see what is being built, and you see the author of it. So I don't know which one you would want, if there was a choice, to be here with me or be there working. Both places is heaven. You know, I produce heaven in your thinking, and they produce heaven with the material on the planet here for us. They started doing it. Who wants to go to heaven? All right, well, I hope you have a full understanding as to, I see somebody in the back raise their hand. They already in it. Regardless, I'm going to make them go whether they want to go or not. He raised his hand too. But, you know, I don't know how many of you all know me, and I don't know how many of you all see me as the way I am, or you see me the way you would like to see a lot. Most of you all don't see me as I really am. I'm very humorous. Most of the time, I'm always happy, so nothing really gets me. If you come and tell me something, I won't say act, I may put the amount of seriousness on it that causes you to be comfortable. But to me, it really is no big thing. If you come and say, well, look, so-and-so died in the family. To me, oh, that's a good thing. They're gone. I mean, they're already gone. And you didn't tell me before they left that they were leaving. And they're already gone. Well, good. You be in tears. I might say, oh, what happened? What did they do? What was the last words they said? I got to find something that will give you comfort in why they left. But with me, I'm still happy. They did? Good. They'll be back. If they're black, they'll be back. Let's make sure before they get back that they see an improvement in their absence. That we've made heaven, they come back. Now they come back into heaven in such a way they can't raise no hell. You all got any questions? I got, if you do, Brother Speedy here, get the mic to you, and you can ask me questions. However, I've always was very fond of my parents. And when I say my parents, I mean the people that are older than me, that's old enough really to be my physical parents. I'm kind of partial to them. And since I'm here in headquarters, I'm around, there's quite a few here that actually came, almost more than the young people. So I'm always pleased every time I come and speak to you all. It's like I get a reward of thinking that you see your son from someone that you can be proud of. You know, the young people that's my age and younger that don't know me yet, or you're still full of vigor and vim and energy, and you really don't have time to look at things in a manner in which what makes a thing the thing. You too busy checking everything, you know, like a child. You give him 3 or 4 toys, you know, he play with them, throw them around, you bring one more other one, and he throw all those inside. Go get that one. The one you brought in is less than the one he had. But you don't know that. He just let that go and go play with something else. That's mostly what the young people do. You know, they see a nice-looking brother, they want to get married, but they don't check the brother out thoroughly. They really don't know how. And the way the brothers are coming up now, you know, this society of this man of evil has caused the young people to think that you actually is an independent individual. So the way you see things and the way you want things to be, you have a right for it to be that way. So therefore, when the truth comes to you, you still want it the way you want it. So you mix it up, put it in a rap song. You put the truth in with the bad. But the way you express the truth is just as bad as the bad. Because it makes it look like now we are partners. Me and Satan are partners now. So to the intelligent man, that's disgusting. However, when the truth comes to you, you say, listen, I'm with the gang. I follow the leader. If he say die, I go down with the leader. You don't pay no attention to what really is according to Allah, according to the facts of creation. You give that up. I gave an allegiance to the leader or to the gang. And I don't know how many of you all remembered what the brother told me in California. I think it was the first time I went out there. And they had a bakery there, the Shabazz Bakery. And the brother with the bakery, everybody there worked or was with the minister. And he sent word that he's going down with the minister. You don't care where I am, right? He'll go down with the minister. Now he's going down. You see? Because it's like a gang. So we got a problem. Either the people that are with me are extremely young and being taught, or they're past what we call the young and stepped into the mature or the older age that are with me. The ones that are in between, you think you got something. And look how the devil did it. Gradually. Through his media and TV, he took your parents from you. And he put enmity in the family where you can't get back together. Half of the people out there don't speak to their own family members. So it leaves you an island, always by yourself, making you think that you are your own person. You never stop to think, I didn't get here by myself. That's got to be something that I should owe an allegiance to. However, the children see that the parents has been taken away from me when they were growing up. They didn't want Elijah. They wanted nothing to do with Elijah. Castrated those that did go with Elijah as being crazy, out of their mind. Now they're coming back with their children. They're having children. They're telling us, well, we can't come, but will you take our child? However, the child been watching them. We weren't there raising the child. They were. So now I can only kill them if they don't accept it. And like I just said, death to me is no big thing. I know I'm not going to die. But you understand what I'm saying? Death is another reality, just like life. And if I have to kill all of them, it's no big thing. You might say, but that's a terrible talk. It's not as terrible as the things you're doing. If I have to speak this way just to get your attention, I didn't say I was going to do it. If you leave me no choice, I don't have no problem doing it. You understand what I'm saying? If you're going to make me kill you, I'm going to do it smiling. I'm not going to say, oh, it grieves me like Prophet Muhammad. Oh, it grieves me to death. My people are not listening. He grieved himself to death. I'm going to be laughing to life. Yes. Yes. If I love our parents, if I actually love them, and the young people is giving them hell, and they're crying out, oh Allah, would you save us? And I say, okay, well, this is what has to happen to save them. I go to deal with the children. And they tell me I'm crazy. They're not going to do so and so and so and so. And I had got a word last night. They called. I don't know exactly to the extent of this. I'm just watching. Brother pulls up. You know, we have our diner right next to Minister Farrakhan's study class building out in Kansas. Brother pulled up, and we were delivering dinners. The brother opened the door, walked in the diner. The brother that's with us, that's delivering the dinners. And someone pulled up in the car right beside him and yelled in, the nation is going down. They're going down. And the brother sat there. Now, on his building, right next to our building, they got the word wrote on his building, bitch. And they come in and out of the building. None of his people has washed it off. Now, since we sitting right next to him, they come and say, we going down. Now, I don't know if he was talking to the particular brother, or he meaning that he thinks that we are the nation, and the nation is going down. You see? But he's a young brother, riding in one of the old cars. They got everything except the brother's license plate. No. However, I've made a promise. If you with me, nothing like that going to happen to you. Now, if the brother or brothers actually go to carry that out, what's going to happen to them? I can't break my promise. You see what I'm saying? I can't break my promise. If I allow a bunch of brothers to get shot up or beat up, then that's going to put a terrible blow to your thinking. Wonder why I let that happen. You see? But the young brothers that's making the threat, the minister has been so successful in keeping me covered, hidden. So they really don't know who they're dealing with until they actually step up and they see, whoa, we're in the wrong house. You see? But still, nevertheless, I still want you to go to heaven. So don't let that bit of news frighten you. All right?
Yes, sir.
It will become the same way with you. The more knowledge you have, nothing excites you. It only dictates to you, you either have something to do or something to leave alone. If you have a problem, it only means you got something to solve. It don't mean that you're supposed to fall out and pass out. If you with me, you solve it. If you can't solve it, go get somebody to know how to solve it. If you can't do that, hey, put it in check and leave it. Like I did the first Adam before I went back and struck it and made the sun. Do it that way. There's always a way out if you're with me, always. If you don't know, call me. Call me. If you don't know, I'll tell you. And if you are unable to understand the language that I'm speaking, I'll put it in check for you until you grow big enough to do it yourself. Is that clear?
Yes.
Do we have any questions that you all like to ask to me? Because we don't have but a couple hours. No questions? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir, Father. Could you tell me if you had moles or moles on your face? What does it mean? Or freckles, one or both?
Freckles usually come from, say, the mixing of the genes.
Okay.
But moles itself is an expression of knowledge that's not being used. It's almost like you're constipated with knowledge. However, it wasn't time for it to be used the way that we have it. You know, knowledge is I won't say funny, but it takes some really looking at. If you have knowledge, you know the way we got put in this situation is from knowledge.
Yes, sir.
So we have to be very careful how we use it. So we're the original people, and if it's time for the original knowledge to be expressed, and we still have the man that is not original here in power, then it's like we have it, and until we actually are doing something where we express the knowledge where we are doing it, not express it where he gets it and he got everything to make it real, then it's like we backed up with it. That's why I said when we're in motion, we got a place where we go into motion, and we start expressing our knowledge, then the moles will start to dissipate.
Yes,
Then when the devil do see it, it's already in motion. He can't stop it.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? However, if we don't have no place, but we burning with it, we want to see our idea come to light. So we go to the government and get a government grant. And he make you sign the paper, all this do's and don'ts and everything. He got you.
Yes, sir.
You know, so when you bring it out, you're so happy to bring it out, but he benefits from it.
Yes, sir.
So we stop you from doing it. So that's why Jesus said, thank you, Father, for not sharing. It's not that we were conscious of it and said, well, we're not going to tell white folks. We couldn't. But the knowledge was still there.
Yes, sir.
That's what it means.
Thank you. And I wanted to say that you said your wife bought you the shirt with the black buttons, but it looks very nice, Father.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
The apartment that I live in, the senior citizen apartment, we have a lot of preachers coming in on Sundays, some on Thursday and Wednesday. And a couple of preachers I have gave the records to concerning you. And the one Sunday today, I was trying to talk to about a month ago. I was telling him about you to come to the meeting. And so he started to say he don't believe in God is a man. So one lady called him and asked him to come and do something to her car. So we kept talking. So anyway, I was in a hurry, I had to leave. So I said, I just let this go. So this Sunday, the preacher saw me coming out. He said, wow, where you going? I said, I'm going to see God, the one I told you about. So the preacher was saying, well, I said, can you go? He said, no, I had to teach today in the building where I live at. And he said, I have to teach today. He said, but I give you my car, and I come one Tuesday. And so everybody I meet, they want to know why do I look so young. I said, Father, I give all praise to Father. And they think I'm 47, but I'm not 47. But I tell my age, they say, wow. But I'm 66, and they don't believe it.
Wow.
That's all praise due to Father, and I feel good for what I have been through during my lifetime. But nobody believe my age, and I'm working on 2 more preachers. I passed the tape to, and but I have not a problem in the building where I live at. You know, I can't walk through the hall and somebody, wow, you know the men. I said, how you doing? You have a nice day and keep on going. And I tell everybody in the building about you, Father. And then one lady knocked on my door. She kept knocking regular. Everybody knocked on my door, but I said I don't go out in the apartment, you know. So I tell everybody about you. And one lady said, who is that beautiful picture on the wall? I said, you want me to tell you? I said, this is Supreme Being, God Almighty. I said, you're not going to believe it when I tell you. So I told her, and she smiled at me. She said, then she said, you said God? I said, yes, it's a Supreme Being. She just looked at me and smiled. But everybody's knocking on my door all the time. I have problems out in that building. And that's the first time I've been living in a senior citizen building before.
Yes,
Because everybody said, you don't belong in this building. You're too young. So thanks to you, Father. All
Yes,
my
ma'am.
blessings coming from you.
Yes, ma'am.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I thought I'd never get up to talk. I used to be shy all the time. And that shyness is going away from me now. I have to learn to get up and talk. And on my thinking. And Sister Murray and I, we want to come to see you, Father. Sister Murray and I, 12X, we want to come to see you.
Call the secretary of the department or call my wife.
Okay.
She likes to make sure what sister's coming to see
And
you.
thanks to you for letting me get up to talk, Father, because I thought I'd never get up and talk. I was so nervous all the time, but all praise to you, Father.
Yes,
I love
ma'am.
you, Father.
Love you too. This is clear evidence that the scriptures are being fulfilled. The ones that are with me, you know, are styled as children of God. So it don't make no difference how old you are. You're starting to take on the appearance of your youth, of a child. So, and this is going to get better and better. It's going to get better and better. And it's so unbelievable to the people that is caught up in the thinking of this world. This can't be God. If it was, he would do so and so and so and so. Because the devil told him what I would do if I was here. But it was the devil telling him he's the master of lies. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Salaam alaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam.
I have a 2-part question. The first part, I would like to know, if so, what is the supportive, connective connection between the geographical Israel in the Middle East, the Papal camp in the Vatican, and the White House or the American government? And if there is a connection between these 3 camps of this triangle, what is the root and the head of this triangle?
Yes, ma'am. I don't know if you all have noticed its location on the map of the 3 places she just named. The Pope of Rome, and I'm giving the answers in the sense of spiritual. You know, I don't know this other thing that the devil come up with, just the spiritual part. You know, the Italy is made like a boot. You know, you ask the base of it. The base of it is truth. Israel in Africa or in the Far East, they are people that is trying to steal our heritage, our birthright, and they do have knowledge that supersedes what his brother, the ordinary Caucasian, has. Because they were the first out of the caves, and Musa gave them some knowledge that Yaku taught them that they didn't pass it on. So it makes them like, well, they are the Gentiles, or they're the ones that we actually gave knowledge to that they didn't do anything with in the right way. So they're trying to take our birthright. So where they are, it's like a triangle thing. They have our birthright and knowledge. Italy is like at the bottom part of whatever in Europe. They have this Catholicism or this what they say the serpent shall strike you in the heel and you should strike the head of the serpent. They have this Christianity, this what is actually bashing Islam in the head, this Christian thing. And the White House is the physical expression of the other two. They control the whole world. Everybody is committing fornication with this White House or this man here in this part. However, we here, the real Israel and the real knowledge is here, and the real physical is here, which we have now started. But it's broke up in like in a triangle or different parts now. It's fractionalized because it's in the hands of the wrong people. If you understand what I'm saying. You all understand that? But the base of it is truth and the time for it. And they spread this in different parts to give legitimacy to their rule. They got Christianity in one part. They got the chosen people in another part. And they got the beast that actually protects both of them. You know, I think they had a vote in the UN about Israel doing what they're doing to the Palestinians now. And the UN, they declined to vote. They don't want to vote because they say it would be impartial for them to do that and then go and be a peacemaker or sit in as an arbitrator. They do everything they possibly can not to distance themselves from the lie that they are the chosen people. So by them doing that, it makes the world think they really are the chosen people. And the rest of the people can't be saved, but then there are those that will be saved that are chosen. So they keep this lie going. And it keeps us messed up. So when we stand up here and we start to say certain things and whatnot, and people are caught up in the old way of thinking, then they pay very little attention to us until we get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's what is happening with that. You know, if you look at Italy, if you ever look at it on the map, it looks just like a boot. You know, and you have Israel right at the top of Africa. You know, right by I think it's 2 pieces of water. It's close to it. It's really at the top of everything. And however, each one of them have a portion. Israel got a portion that it's in, and the Italians got a portion of Europe. But America, it's got just about the whole continent. They're not sharing it. The way it's divided, the way they got it set up is from sea to shining sea. They got it. The other people can't say that. They can walk over from one border into the next border. You can do that in Mexico and Canada also. However, the level of power is like you're not stepping into anything that's any significance. When you leave America, it's like you're stepping into something that's less. All right. If that answers the question, does it answer? Or at least it'd be food for thought. Any other questions? We'll get the brothers next.
Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam.
I wanted to know, when you share with us that do everyone want to go to heaven, which is Kansas City?
Yes, ma'am.
When the world is destroyed, would that be the not hereafter per se, but the place where people who are saved be?
No, ma'am. Not when the world is destroyed. By the time that takes place, you won't be there. You'll be gone. You know, if you're with us. The ones that is to be saved will be there for a while. We have to do something that will bear witness that we deserve to be saved. And when that is done, then you're removed. And by the time the full destruction comes, you won't be nowhere around. You'll be gone. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear me?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You sure that's all you wanted to know? Oh, okay. The brother's question? Yes, sir, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum, Father. I have 3 questions. All right. Oh, first question is what do you see that's in me that's like real big or major that I need to work on that's in me?
Self-control. You're a brother with a lot of life. You're like a child. And you really haven't taken nothing really serious in your life. And it's almost been like you haven't really had to. So you got to control, you got to put something of value on something that you actually value in a way where it will change your behavior and make you be more aware of things that's around you. That's what you have to do.
Second question. I have a lot of marks on my face, and I wanted to know what was something that I could get to clear it up, because I didn't try it.
Or just stay with me. If I'm making it new, it's gonna go away.
Third question. All right. When I was in the world, right? I'll say I had a probation officer, right? I stopped going to see him, and one of my probation is up in November of next month. One is over next month, and one is over, I think, next month, next year. And my question to you is, should I worry about it or prepare myself for the confinement? That's what I meant.
Well, that depends upon you. If you still are devilishment, then worry about it. If you made your mind up and you've been practicing long enough that you made your mind up that you're not going to be a practicing devilishment, then and you're sure of it, then you stick with me. You do what a man does. We don't owe no allegiance to this system. If you're doing right and they told you to, other words, you've already broken it, right?
Yes, sir.
So if they get in contact with you now, it's highly likely that you may be reincarcerated.
Yes, sir.
Well, when you go and speak, if you speak to them and let them know, but you have to be sure that you are with me, you're with God himself. And when you go to speak to them, you let them know that I have come upon something that means a lot to me. It's more than what you all have imposed upon me, and I'm afraid to break it. That's the favor of Allah. Now, I know I gave my word that I would obey the laws concerning this probation, and I've broken it. But I intend to be with Allah, and whatever I have to do, I'm going to do that and break this. And if you're with me, if you know how to speak, see, I don't know exactly who you're going to talk to, but if you're with me, I don't have to. When you go, I'll speak. You don't owe your soul to the devil, and you're not to come with me and be tied up with him. If you're with me, you're with me. If you're with him, you're with him. Now, if you take me with him, if you take me with you to him and be with him, then he's going to give you hell. But if you take me with you to him about something that you promised, he'll let you go. Because his laws cannot conflict with ours and win. You're a burden. If he sees that, matter of fact, if when you were talking, if he sees in you that you are for real, he don't want to put you in no cell with nobody else because you're going to convert him. That's right. Look, you just going out there and be with your people, and do the best you can. Just get away. And I don't want to catch you out here no more. All you got to do is try me. And, that's what ties so many of us up. We keep thinking we can outslick this devil. We're going to evade him. And the messenger taught, if the devil wants you, ain't no way in the world you can avoid him. The only way you can get away from the devil is if you are with Allah. I'm the only one that can protect you. If I got you, he can't find you. Now, if you really with me and you don't want to go through all that stuff, even with him, talking with him, you can be with me. You be in his face every day, and he never know it. I'm telling you the truth. Yes, I am God. Yes, I really am. What determines how well you see that I'm God is what you do and how you think. If you say, well, I'm going to do it because he said he's God, I'm going to try it. It ain't going to work. Now, if you know I am, and you have some evidence in your own thinking based on the laws and principles of creation that I am, then you say, well, I'm going to try this based on this. And go and do it, then it'll happen. You say, oh, I got some more evidence. Well, if you go and say, well, because he said it, it's not going to work. Unless I got something for you to do. Even if you want to do it or not. If I got something for you to do, I'll send you anyhow. Get you off. You do what you got to do, and then let you get stopped, and you're locked up again.
I understand, Father.
Good.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. You know, you're a particular individual. If you just express your nature the way that you can get a lot of things done for you, which you already did, but in the wrong way. You get a lot of things done for you. Even the white folks say, oh, he looks very promising. Or, Your Honor, I think he's really changed. I think it would be in our best interest if we let him back on the street. He looks like he's really repented. You have that look about yourself. Inside, you may be cracking up because they're falling for it. However, if you fell for it yourself, it would be true. So what they would be seeing was actually truth they're seeing, and you would have no more repercussions from them. And I'm telling you what I know. The supreme captain was on probation when he came with us. He said, Father, I can't come. I said, this is what you do. You send me your picture. We're going to put it on a card, and I'm going to stamp on there and send a letter stating that you are the supreme captain of the United Nations of Islam. Allah himself, supreme captain. You take this to your parole officer and show it to him and tell him that I said do it. And you go anywhere you want to go. He took it. He couldn't wait to take it. He went down and told him it was going to happen before he even had it. He was jumping up and down. I sent it. He carried it down and showed it to him. And he said, well, I'll just let you know when it's over with. You know, let me know. Call me a couple of days before it's over with. And he's been all over the country. He didn't have to report to him no more.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. Father.
Walaikum salam.
Brother Wayman sent the greetings, assalamu alaikum, to the nation.
Walaikum salam. Oh. Brother Wayman is our a new counselor. He's our lawyer now for the nation. He's with us. He's the brother out of Tallahassee, Florida. I think he still is in love with his wife. However, she's not with this. And she used to be a lieutenant in the nation under the messenger. But she's not with this. The brother has given his family up, his children, his job. He was doing very well on his job as being an attorney. He says he's coming to be with his own. And I got to bear witness, the brother's been shaking. He's been turning Kansas up. Everybody there know him. So, you know, they're very pleased with what he's doing and how he does things. And so by him coming to be with us, and we don't pay him no salary either. You know, we make sure he eats and got a place to sleep and he can get around and he can look good. So everything is really working out for us. He's checking up at the house?
Yes, sir.
Right. So you got somebody to go.
He said he would call me this evening.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So that's who she's talking about. Is there anyone else?
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam.
I'm Sister Renee from Baltimore, and you have to give me a minute because I talk to you all the time in the unseen. It's very difficult to talk to you in the physical. Because Sister Mildred gave me some energy back there when she talked about being shy. First, I want to thank you for the support that you allowed the nation to give me. I had to make a move, domestic move, real quick in a hurry, and you made the way for me to move. However, Satan's always lurking, and I moved to this house, and I couldn't get into the house for 2 weeks because there were all kinds of things that were going on with the electric and water in the basement and so on and so forth. And I got into this house, and after 2 weeks and 3 days into the house, and something else major happened. And I said, Father, what's next? So within that week, 3 other major things happened where the house needed to be worked on. And so the last night that happened, there was more water in the basement, and I emptied a box, and I came upstairs, turned off the light, took my baby upstairs, come on, we're going to bed. Well, I want to really thank you in the physical for the comfort, because you came to me, you and Mother came to me on the first night in a dream. And I physically saw you and Mother. However, Mother, you were speaking, your mouth was moving, and Mother was speaking through you. I understood what it was at the time in the dream. I remembered it when I woke up. However, I couldn't remember what the concept was, exactly what I was supposed to be learning from that. A day passed. The second night, I had another dream. And in this dream, I saw you and Mother, however, you were speaking. And what you said to me, and I know there must be a higher meaning, what I got out of it at the time was, what you said in the dream was, you are going to make the curtains for the kitchen window. And I answered you, yes, sir. And also I wanted to say, in this dream, I was a lot more comfortable than when I'm appearing to you now and talking to you.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I felt like I could be myself. And the next night after that, Sister Lieutenant Laverne and I were together in a dream, and we were about the nation's business. And so I wanted to know if that was just part of the comfort, letting me know I wasn't alone in all of this that I was going through, but there's something else that I'm supposed to be getting from that as well. That's my first question.
Well, yes, ma'am. It was to reassure you that everything's going to work out all right, that you would be staying there. That's why I asked you about making the curtains for the kitchen. It's for your house, for your home. And that's the place that if you're not going to stay, you don't beautify. So we'll let you know, we know what's going on. Matter of fact, Mother's going through the same thing. We had to get the carpenters and the plumbers and everything. We got the house for her very close to the businesses. And the house looked very good on the inside. As soon as they started using things,
Yes,
everything started backing up.
yes, sir.
So we even called Mr. Roto-Rooter, we called the city out. And that house that I am, I don't know how many of you all seen the house where I am. Same thing happened there. We had to call the people out. And they come out and dig a great big hole, try to get it straightened out. And say, well, it's not our fault, it's y'all's fault. So they had to cover the hole back up. Now somebody else got to come out, and if you come out after Wednesday, you start to see the yard all tore up because they're supposed to be repairing it. So you're not by yourself.
Yes, sir.
We're getting rid of this old water and old habits and whatnot, and bringing in new. It takes a little bit, however. When it is completed, you will have won something. You will have developed something that we don't usually develop, which is patience.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll move to another place. I'm about ready to go to Chicago, according to what's taking place in the nation, to my own home. And I've already seen once I get there, I'm going to have to do some work there in the palace. It's not been kept as it should be. And for the things that I'm going to be conducting and taking place there, it has to be almost 35% renovated. So, don't feel bad.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Father. The next question I wanted to ask you about is, I understand that we are supposed to get permission or ask about going to any type of affair, anything that's going to have us out in the world or in the public.
Yes, ma'am.
And there was something in particular. There's a black circus that's coming to Baltimore. And there's also the possibility that my youngest daughter's father wants to take her or will provide tickets for me to take her. And I've always asked for your protection in the unseen. However, you are here in the physical, and I need to know whether or not that would be appropriate to take her to this circus, and not just about the circus. If we don't, because we're just out in the world and amongst the devil, which means Satan is always there, how do we know where it is that we can go in something that appears to be clean, good, safe, clean fun?
Well, usually what determines or dictates whether you should attend an affair or a particular place is your level of thinking and reasoning why. If your reason is for express purpose of learning, for a positive sense that will help to develop us in our thinking concerning what we're doing,
Yes, sir.
usually the permission is granted.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you don't know, is the child's father with us?
No, sir. And I am not with him.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
How old is the child?
She'll be 4 in November. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't deny him for, the company of his child in something of that nature. However, it is best that you do it. Let us know. Then this way, I actually can protect her
Yes, sir.
and give you peace of mind at the same time.
Yes, sir.
Is he Christian or he's nothing?
I would say he's nothing. He pretends to be with you in the unseen. And when I say with you, he doesn't know who you are in the physical.
Well, what usually happens, and you all should pay very close attention to what I'm about to say. Most of us are still very personal. And we look at people as though some person done something to you. In fact, what happens, most people that get you in a dangerous situation don't even know you. The person that has an accident in the car and almost kill you, they don't know you. Those type of things. What happens, the closer that you get to be with me, and especially if you don't realize where you are, then the devil comes into people, or Satan comes into people, not that they asked him to come. They're already with him in the way that they think. So he makes them do things they wouldn't ordinarily do.
Yes.
You may think, well, that guy is crazy. And then after it happened, he gets there, I don't know what happened. I don't usually do things like that. It's because he's so in accord with Satan. Satan uses them at any time he pleases. And he really always wants to get the sheep or the lamb, which is us. Now, the sheep now would be the ones that was with the messenger, but the lambs are those that are with me. So he comes into your family members, he'll come into your children if they're not with me, and to the child's father and do crazy things. However, if you let me know before it happens, then I say, okay, go ahead and send the child. And it's protected, can't do nothing.
Yes, sir.
So that's why it should be, you should let me know. I know some of y'all think, hey, I'm grown, why I gotta let him know? I mean, I can see, I'm watching. I'm very careful. When you make that statement, Satan hears it too. He be smiling. You're right, that's right. He make you sharper until you actually go. Then he gets you. Brother Lee, you come and talk to me. I think the worst thing that happened is when they had the accident, the brothers from Eastern Shore got knocked out of the car, and the car was totally damaged. I mean, it was total. Nobody in the car got, severely injured or hurt real bad. And they couldn't understand that. But the person that hit them, they weren't what you say naturally out to hit them. But since they already with Satan, and that's the nuclear that I have for the Eastern Shore, he figured, well, I'll take them out. Because they were going to McDonald's. So they're thinking like McDonald's now, they're not really sharp. Speed it up and hit them, bam. But they with me. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
You are everyone that is with me, especially my family. I don't know how many of y'all know. Do y'all know my daughter's here? The one that I told you all about a long time ago? She's with her father, and she's checking me out to see if I really am genuine. Well, all of my biological children are spiritual. We are spiritual. We're not physical, although you see me physically, and I can do physical work, but my essence or my real being is spiritual. I'm like the unseen. I'm the author of the unseen. I'm the enforcer of the unseen. And my 10 children that come from me, and the other ones that I'm having now, are not that I'm having, that are coming from me, are likewise. We have people, in other words, the devil got some people Well, matter of fact, just about everybody he works with, you don't see him in the unseen, but they still do what he says do from the power of suggestion from him. Yes, he whispers in the air. Well, you have some people now, at least 10. Now, once they really break the shackles of Satan, they will hear me whisper to them first, and they'll do it because that is the essence of them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We actually are spiritual. Like the Christians say, God is spiritual. He's a spirit. I'm that, but I'm not all that. However, the essence of me is actually that.
Yes, sir.
So, yes, I would say, yeah, she can go.
Yes, sir.
Just to a carnival, let me know what day it is. We'll make it nice and bright like today.
Yes, sir. I just want to say again that thank you for giving me the confidence again to speak to you in the physical, and that I hope I don't worry you too much in the unseen. However, I do need the comfort because I am alone, and I just appreciate you being there. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Well, I'm working on this loneliness. Yeah, I know what it is. You know, I have quite a few of you all, and I'm still alone. I used to have the, but I really do know what it is. This is why everything has to be real, and has to be done for real. So she wants a real husband, not just me in the unseen. She wants a real man, so she can talk to him about me. You know, and likewise with the brothers. They're telling me in Kansas now, Father, you got to send some sisters. Look like you're getting all the good ones. Well, what do you want me to have? The bad ones? Any other questions?
Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Wa alaikum salam.
I had 3 questions and a comment.
Yes, sir.
I'll make it real quick.
Yes, sir.
First question, I would like to know about what is a soldier? The second question, I would like to know what tribe I'm from. The third question, I would like for you to give me my smelling ability back. I lost it checking up for a female on the bus in 1993. So I lost it for 2 years. And the comment is, I went over to young people on Martin Luther King Avenue where Myron Barr be there on Saturdays at 7 a.m. in the morning, and he can't say that I didn't give him the progress report that God is here and I be with him on daily basis, you know. And he said, what this for? I said, that's Brother Solomon. I said it like that. I don't want to chase him out, but once he go to read the progress, he'll get the understanding to know that you is here.
Yes, sir.
And my dad, I had to let him go. My sister, she's back. So I just want to share that, you know, from the funeral. And I didn't go when my aunt passed a week ago. You know, your instructions, I live by them on a daily basis. In the AA rooms, I always talk about you.
Yes, sir.
You know.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Your smelling ability, that'll come back to you. You stay with me, everything that's wrong will come back. All the scars will leave. Everything will come back. You know, you'll be a man that you thought you never could be. Never in your vision you even see it. As far as a person being a soldier, as far as the spiritual meaning of that, is someone that is confirmed or solid in what they're doing for a specific purpose. You know, they can't be swayed or turned. That's a soldier. You know, you have Christians say, I'm a soldier for Christ. They think they know him so well that Islam can't come and turn them. If you're a soldier for truth and understanding, then you're a real soldier. You know, nothing can turn you because nothing is nothing. And if you have the truth and you are the truth, nothing else could come but nothing. So nothing change it, if you understand what I'm saying. Nothing has no power. So if anything did come to you, it has the power of nothing against the truth. So you can't change because you're solid in it. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Either one of the brothers that, for the first time, you want to speak to me, question or whatnot? Or the what?
Tribe. I'm
Oh,
from.
11th tribe. Yes, sir. The handsome brother tribe. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I'd like to.
Hold your mic up.
I'd like you to give me a little more clarity on. I don't understand why you need a wife. I don't understand.
Well,
and
I don't.
I'm sorry.
You go ahead.
And you're just talking about your daughter, and
all right. That's.
I don't have the knowledge.
Yes, sir. We understand. First place, we've been taught a lie concerning me. And most people believe the lie. We think that, like I was talking with a deacon or a minister this week, and he's telling me that the body, is, in the Bible it's written that there's nothing clean found in the flesh or the body. As though, so I asked him, I said, well, did God make a mistake when he made the body? Oh, no. He didn't make the mistake. No, he made it perfect. Why would it say it's, nothing is clean, it's in the body, or uncleanness is found in the body? He couldn't explain that. So I said, that's not what it means. It means that all of us have a body that's here, that's complete. You have a body. However, what that statement means is that you are not to take instructions from the body. The body is to take instruction from the thinking. Now, why should Allah himself have a family? In our lessons, it reads that the wise man, or the duty of a scientist or a Muslim, is to teach the knowledge and wisdom of the human family of the planet Earth. And the human family is the humble family. And no one is more humble than me. It would have to be my family. In order for you, if you are made in my likeness, or you are made like me, that means you must do as I do. I will walk with you. I will talk with you. I will sup with you. I'm not going to do it in such a manner as though I'm always looking down at you. I want to see a reflection of myself without looking in a mirror and only see me in the mirror. I want to look out and see a reflection of me like the field of flowers that is me and is reflecting me, and it does what I do. So if I do it first, it automatically makes a law that I can expect that to be done from them. So I first has to have a family. And to make sure that the family is right, the person that is to be with me is to be styled as my wife. Me twice, but the lesser part of me. So in that sense, it allows me to still be free according to the way creation was set up, to go and talk and deal with you while she is dealing with the rest of me that's being brought in. So I need a family to show you how to have a family. I don't have to have a family. However, I am a new Allah. I am a new God. And since I'm new, I stepped into something that's already in progress. And the first or the original Allah put this in motion. So for me not to change it because it's good. In the beginning, there used to not be no sisters. The men were summoned from the earth. So there were no wives. There were just dedicated men to other men in a righteous manner. However, I came at a time where the woman was already here, and the God was already pleased with her, so why get rid of her? So I make the best use of her the way creation intended for it to be. So I be the example. I take a wife and show you how it is to be done, so you know how to treat yours. And when you treat her right and teach her right, then you see yourself come back through her, and she brings it up and presents it back to you when it gets a certain age, and it makes you pleased with her. And then you say, give thanks to me for making this possible. So that's why I have to have it first. I don't need it to be God, but this is something I stepped into that's already in process. So I'm not changing that part yet. Okay. Another question? Any other question? Any other question? Yes, ma'am. Oh. Can you wait? Can you wait a minute? All right. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir, Father. My question is sort of like a scenario.
Could you hold for one moment?
Yes, sir.
Let me say this, because, these tapes go quite a few places. I have a wife, but I don't. I have wives. Because the magnitude of my thinking, no one woman or two women can match it. I don't have a wife in the sense, well, this is the individual that I love. And this one is with me because of a duty. I don't necessarily love her. But she enhances the one that I do love. That's not the way it is. Water seeks its own level. The wives that I have, I think just as much of each one as I do the one that I say that is the wife. However, to keep us thinking in the oneness, I say I have a wife. And her particular duty is to do certain things for me personally, like you say, dress me, and make sure I look good for the other wives to even look at. So there's no need for all of them to do it. They'll be stumbling over each other's feet. But each one has something to do. However, technically, I don't have a wife. I have to have a combination of wives to make one. If you understand what I'm saying. So this way, not one, even when I'm speaking, I say, well, I have my wife, and I may call her name, whatnot. And the others that are with me, they never become jealous or feel like, well, that's his wife, how come I can't be her? They don't feel it, because that's not the way I actually express myself. I like I said, the older sisters, I have a mother-in-law, I love Sister Keel and some other sisters here that I know personally, that I think just as much as them did I do with my wife. They're not with me as a wife, but I think of them just like I do my wife. If they needed something, they got in trouble, whatnot, I protect them. Because I know that they are the pillar of the women or the sisters that represent God. They made it this far. So I'm with them. Now the ones that are with me that are young enough to actually produce me over again, then they're with me. If they grow out of that, then, and I allow them not to be until I actually summons the child from them, I may cause them or don't impregnate them so they won't always have to be with a young child. However, it is their thinking of how they see me and how they relate to me that cause me to love them. Now, if those of you that are not with me personally, and you still love me to the best that you can, even in your thoughts and in your dreams, I still see you as my wives. And also I see you all as my brothers, if you are really with me, because it means the both of us. It's not just me, I'm the big I, and I'm not the big I. I'm just I. And if you are with me, I will make you an I just like me. Like the messenger say, it's coming a time we won't speak of no God. Won't be no, that would be like redundancy. It would be unnecessary. It would be a waste of words. If you follow what I'm saying. So that's the way it is. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for waiting.
Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Wa alaikum salam.
Mine was it was an event that happened earlier today. However, it's several events, but the overall is that the peace has been broken in my home. So I was wanting clarity on some information that had been passed on to me. Excuse me, I'm a little sick.
Take your time.
Where I come from, my background, I was raised a Jehovah's Witness. And so when coming to the knowledge of you, you had shared with us that you would know Jehovah's Witness to know you from the scriptures, and that's definitely true because I did. However, points that you make concerning Jehovah's Witnesses, they, I feel have been, it's not feel, they have been taken out of context and put into a different perspective that is not relating to me in situations. And so I would like clarity on that. Coming to the knowledge, the things that you bring out in these particular sect, once you have that knowledge, it no longer should apply to me.
It's true.
Okay. And so, with a husband and wife, you should be able to discuss these things and come to an answer about what each other are thinking.
Is your husband with me?
Yes, sir.
And he still sees you somewhat of the character of Jehovah's Witness?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's unless you really are doing it. Even if you are, and you're still with me, he should be of the stability that he can bring peace to your thinking. Now, I'm not saying that you're thinking that way. Really, I'm not really concerned about if you are or not. However, this is what I say. Once you come with me, you're neither Jehovah's Witness, you're neither Christian, you're not even Muslim. You're God's wife. You're goddess. And the black man is God. That Muslim, those names they put on it is for those ones that are limited in their thinking. You know, the devil came in and we had to make him as righteous as we possibly could, or show him the necessity for being righteous, so we gave it a name. We call it Muslim. You know, he who submits entirely to do the will of Allah. Well, we gave him that for him to have a measuring stick by. But if you God, that's like redundancy. So if you were, that's something that you were practicing before you got to be with this. It's almost like you had your ex, and now you used to be named Jones, and your husband's still calling you Jones. That's a sin. If you were Mary X, and he should call you, or really he shouldn't call you Mary. He should call you by some name that you and him discuss it. Please, you know, like it makes it personal. But if he's going to call you Mary, he will call you Mary, and not the X or Mary Jones, because you left that. It's the same thing if you've divorced a way of thinking concerning me because of higher knowledge. It should never be referred back to you in the way that you just left from. You know, you shouldn't think that way, nor your husband, he shouldn't impose that on you. If you do that, he should help you out of it. I know sometimes the ones that are with me, you know, wives and males and brothers and sisters, and even you all, you call and tell me certain things, you feel good today, but tomorrow, Satan comes and he's messing with you, and you start to doubt, and you call me up and say, Father, I had a thought so and so and so. What does this mean? To me, it's real simple, but to you, I know it really means something. So I explained to you, you said, oh, thank you, Father. It brings you right back to where you should be. But if I say, well, you think like them Jehovah's Witness again, you got no business doing that. I don't know why you with Father, why you keep doing it. That's the wrong way. That's the wrong way. So if your husband is here and he's listening, well then it's hard to ignore your husband because he has it's just a way about a man. He's just got a way about him in the way of authority. So you should be very careful how he steps in his water. He might slip and fall.
Thank you, Father. I have two more questions, however.
Yes, what time is it? It's what? We're supposed to be at 4:30? We're supposed to be at 4:30. We got 15 minutes. You want to call me?
Yes, sir.
You can call me.
Thank you, Father. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. We want to make sure that you all have enough time to give a couple pennies and hear the announcement. I'm going to try to make it back next week. And those of you that, for the first time, I thank you all for coming. And next week, if you want to come back and bring somebody with you, you got some questions, be sure and come with them. We can start early. Maybe I'll just go right into questions. We just start where we have enough time to deal with some of the things. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.